what is one beauty product that you can't live without?
Ooh, that's a good question. That I can't live without. Lately, I've been using the Glossier eyebrow, the boy brow. And sorry, I'm gonna make this thing go quiet so that I don't have messages coming into our session.
That's okay. I know, I always put on do not disturb.
Actually, do you mind if I go look in my soap? Because that's a better one and I really want to give them a shout. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
I think it's called Cetaphil. Is that how you say the brand? Cetaphil, right?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Walgreens, like a drugstore, right? You buy it
yes.
from the drugstore. Yeah. It's a great brand.
Mm-hmm.
They have an eyebrow gel?
Yeah, so no, Cetaphil?
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't sound right. Dude.
She's like, wait, what? No, Cetaphil it's like a face soap. It's the most generic. Everyone can get it. You would never, ever, ever think. But it changed my life. I had crazy acne, and my dermatologist recommended it, and it's one of those, the packaging, like I'll shove it in the back. Yeah, I like hide it in my bathtub, but it's amazing, and it's really helped clear my skin. So and I love that it's affordable and everyone can have it. I swear I'm not an ambassador, but I just really.
But you like to be like, hey.
Yeah.
You'll
subscribe here.
You use the moisturizer as well? They have like the
No, just the soap. I do the soap, and I have other kinds of moisturizers and great stuff, but that one's really good.
Yeah, that was a big change for me too, because I'm very sensitive to like scents, anything with like a scent in it, and fragrances, and that's just like the plain old good stuff. No scent, no fragrance, no bad ingredients.
Yeah, it's really clean, and my manager, who's a dude, actually uses it too. Like, guys love it, and I think it's a good one.
Nice.
So Inbar, one of our signature questions is, if you could have cocktails with anyone living or dead, who would it be? What would you drink? It doesn't have to be alcohol. And what would you guys talk about?
Oh my gosh. I would have to say it would be really, really fascinating for me to have a cocktail with Marilyn Monroe. I just think she would be so fabulous and fun. Like, to me, she's the iconic, cocktail holding goddess. And I think she got a pretty bad rap, and I would just be curious to pick her brains.
Yeah, she seems super mysterious too. So it's like you want to get to know her more. And you're like, what are you about? I want to know like more.
She was definitely a secret badass. Like, she was a badass. That's probably why she got a bad rap, because they were like, oh, we like our little women making sandwiches and stuff. Here comes Marilyn.
I think she was one of those icons that were always really, really famous for everything they didn't really feel were representative of who they truly were. Like, I don't think she ever really felt necessarily pretty or or glamorous inside. I think that, right, Chills? Just casually walking through in the background. Don't mind her. But yeah, I always find that really fascinating, to talk to people who are so known for one thing, and it would be really interesting for me to ask her questions about the different aspects of her life that maybe didn't have as much focus on.
Yeah, definitely. I love that.
Oh, here's a good question. What is the first post-quarantine activity you're going to do with your girlfriends?
Quarantine is over, homie. You've been sitting at home Zooming and cocktailing with people on Zoom. Uh, where am I going to go with my girlfriend? Well, I'm getting married this summer, and all my girlfriends and I are going on a bachelorette trip to Greece. So if you guys want to come,
Yeah.
that's going to be happening.
That's going to be fabulous. Congratulations too.
Thanks. It's so exciting. It's like, I can't believe it's happening. And I feel like, especially after this year, you know, like all the homies, everyone's just ready to party. So
yeah. You have the ring on? Let's see the ring.
Oh, this whole thing? Wait, what?
Gosh.
Wait, who? Wait, what?
Damn, that's beautiful.
Wow.
Thanks.
So exciting. So you have so many exciting things going on. Congrats on the new season of Lucifer. Something we always love to ask people is how they got the role. Was this an offer? Was it an audition? And like, who did you call when you booked it?
Okay, so Lucifer was an offer, and one of the writers on the show, Chris Rafferty, he's amazing and has become such a dear friend of mine. And at the time, he was watching another show I was on called Imposters, that's on Netflix, cheap plug. And he was watching my work on the show, and he was writing the role of Eve as they were developing it for the new season. And he had written it with me in mind.
Wow.
So yeah, that was a really, really flattering call to get from my team. And I have to be honest and say I wasn't watching the show at the time, and I wasn't even really aware of it. So it was really cool to discover this phenomenon. And I think I didn't call anybody, but I did go over to my friend's house, Kevin McHale, who was on Glee, cheap plug, and they were having like a sushi night, and I came in, and that's who I told first. I was like, so I guess I'm gonna do this show. It's called Lucifer, and we cheersed, and we had some sake, and it was amazing.
That's awesome. I love that. I love those like when it happens like unexpectedly, and also like when you're working, like you don't really have time to watch TV because you're on set like 18 hours a day, so you're doing a lot of stuff. You don't really have time in your trailer, like on your phone. You can get some catch up time of your show. So. Yeah,
it definitely. It wasn't on my radar, but it definitely is now.
Yeah.
Yes. And also you have almost a secret talent. You have an incredible voice. Can you tell us about Puppet Master and what was the inspiration behind that song? Is there a music video in the works?
Thank you. Yes. So Puppet Master is my first single. It's coming out June 25th. It's so soon. It's crazy. I feel like I've been working on music for like almost 3 years now, and I've really taken the time to make sure that I'm ready and that it is ready, and I don't think I'll ever be ready, but it's coming. And Puppet Master, it was really just came out of a lot of frustration of feeling like I'm in the backseat or feeling like I was a puppet in someone else's show. And it's really about cutting those ties and, finding your strength and realizing that no one can ever really control you. And the only person who can ever really control you is you.
So beautiful. I heard your song and I was like, whoa, like this, like, I could tell like how deep it was from your heart, like, and your voice is insane and incredible. I was like, Whoo, I got chills when I was listening to it. So I'm so excited for you, and I can't wait I hope there's a music video, because I definitely want to see it.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so happy this was recorded. If I'm ever feeling, insecure and doubt, I'll replay that just like that, and I'll get the courage to release another song. So thank you.
Yes, please.
Oh, please, you got this. God, please. You got this. You're gonna have a whole album out.
Yeah.
I see it now.
I'm going on tour.
See, this is what I love about women. It's just so amazing to me how, we all have our insecurities, we all have our doubts, and then we come together, we have some booze, and then we just, inspire each other, we encourage each other, we empower each other. Women have been doing this since the beginning of time, and I don't really see men like coming together on a Friday night around a cheese platter and be like, "Yo, man, you got this," go out there and like go get them. They just don't.
They don't know what they're missing. They gotta join the girl gang.
100%.
We go hard for each other.
No, it's so true. So true. Yeah. And so also you've been doing something incredibly inspiring. You have a sunglasses line called, I want to make sure I'm saying your last name right. Lavi, is that how you say it?
So Lavi, it's like Lavi. The emphasis is on the end.
Lavi, okay, Lavi.
Yeah.
That's so great. So you did that during quarantine, and that's really kind and inspiring. What was that moment you had where you're like, I have to do this?
Well, to be honest, I've been so fascinated with fashion my whole life. Not that I had any sense of style, but I was, into it, and I've had different brands approach me and want to do collabs, and I never really had the time. And during COVID was the first time that I actually had time to do something other than being on set. And so we started developing and designing the line. The first one came out, really cool frames. I'm so happy with how it turned out. And then while we were designing the second line, I got a call saying, okay, Lucifer is back on. We need you back on set. And I realized that I was so lucky to go back to work. And yet so many other people were still at home, playing board games and trying to get through the day. And so many businesses went under. And I remember going into the girl who does my eyebrow lamination. And she had a beauty salon. And so they were shut down for months because you can't be in close proximity. And this is a woman who's worked her entire life to have this shop, and it's now taken away from her. So I just felt like, it's the least I can do to try to help. It's been such a tough year for so many people. And because the glasses were targeted for women, I decided to donate all the proceeds to female-owned businesses that were shut down or had to stop and took a really massive hit. So
beautiful. I'm sure you help so many people. You have like no idea how many, and they're going to pass it on too. Hopefully it's kind of like pay it forward. Like you inspired them and they're probably going to pay it forward to somebody else.
And these frames are like bomb. This Rockford red. Oh, yes.
I'm so glad you like them. Yeah, we have.
And they look sturdy too. Sturdy. Those little frames. I'm like, oh no. I'm gonna drop this once. It's gonna crack. This looks like it could take some wear and tear at the beach.
Oh yeah, it definitely. I just shove it in, and it makes it back in one piece. but yeah, they're very well made. They're handcrafted in Italy, and you know, the works. It's really well done, and that was a big part of it. And they're also meant to fit every face, every shape, every age. They're really classy and classic and timeless. And you know, the wonderful thing, we're about to release a line of sweats now, because everyone's wearing sweats all the time. And this is just a sham. This is just a facade. I'm going right back into my sweatpants after this is over.
Yes.
But you know, when we did the sweats shoots, I had all these girlfriends who are these bad boss bitches who you know, have, you know, jewelry line, or are styling, or have, you know, sneakers line, and they all wanted to contribute because it was a way to give back. And we did this incredible shoot. I have never felt an energy like that on a set before. It was just so wonderful. And you know, it's so special to be able to share that with your friends, and also to be able to share that with everyone. Like it's going live tomorrow, so I'm like, I'm really
that line called for the sweat.
I could always use sweats.
Yeah, I'm a sweat fan, right? You hit my groove.
So it's the line. So it's from Lavi, which is the brand that I created, and Lavi stands for strength, lion, a person of great strength and courage in Hebrew. And the line specifically from the sweats is called Back in Action, in order to bring people back on their feet and back in action.
I like that. I like that.
So happy.
Thanks.
So everyone faces challenges in their life, and these experiences, even though they're painful, they also leave room for immense growth and awareness. Reflecting back on your life, what is a challenge you faced and overcame, and what were you learning from the experience? How did that help you evolve into the badass boss that you are today?
I've had many. I feel like we have them all the time. It's a natural, you know, it's a natural thing. And I'm trying to think of something really fundamental that shook me. You know, there was a point in my life where I was so broke. I was working 5 jobs. I didn't have a car. I was riding my bike to auditions around Los Angeles. And I had lost my job, and I felt like I was, you know, like at the bottom. And my friends came over, they brought me soup. I had strep throat, and I was like laying on the floor, and they were like, what is that in the corner of your room? And I said, there was a box of shampoo and conditioner from a line of products that my aunt sold, and I used to work for her in her company. And I said to them, it's from that line I used to sell. You know, I should return it to her, but I haven't had the time. And they were like, this is the bad karma right there in the corner of your room. That's bad karma. You should bring that back to her. It shouldn't be here. It's not yours. And I called her the next day, and I said, hey, how's it going? I still have your box of shampoo and conditioner. And she said, oh my gosh, that's so crazy you're calling, because I've been thinking about you. I was hoping you're doing well. I have a job that I thought you might be good for. And she gave me a job to become like a marketing like junior at her company. And I was able to get back on my feet and go to school and do auditions during the day and work for her. And like the timing couldn't have been better. And I think I keep going back to that moment in my life where the answer was really right in front of me. Like sometimes you think you're doing everything right, but if you really do a cleanup and you open your closet and you find those skeletons of things that you know are dragging you down, I always find something. And then once I clean that out of the way, things start to like shift.
Yeah. Whoa. That was like so deep. And it's like decluttering that. So you're like inviting new energy in and abundance. So, wow. That's crazy that your friend said, oh, this is bad karma. And they like, even though like your intentions weren't bad or anything, but that next day that she had a job for you.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I do believe in karma. I do believe in manifestation. I do believe in energy. And sometimes even just putting that in your mind of like, there is hope. It's like small changes, like, taking one step at a time. And sometimes that's all you need. Someone like planting that hope in your mind,
Absolutely. And just to follow up on that a little bit, what's a mantra that you live by?
Dare to dream has always been a good one. Don't hate the player, change the game.
I like that.
Yeah, change the game.
The game. Yeah.
I made that up. I always thought that was the saying, and I would say it all the time. And people were like, "Ooh, that's so cool!" And I'm like, "Well, I didn't come up with it." And now I go like, "Yeah, I kind of came up with that."
That's even better than the original.
Yeah.
It's just with a twist. And then, one thing that I've been saying a lot lately in light of what's been happening in my homeland back home in the Middle East. And I think, there's a lot of misinformation. And I always say, don't hate, educate. So
yes.
And I think that's current and true for so many aspects in our lives as human beings, as a culture, as a society, where we sometimes are really quick to judge or really quick to attack or be angry or hate. And really all we need to do in order to change that is to educate ourselves, each other, our children, the next generation.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when it comes, I think the biggest problem is people are afraid. Well, at least people that are outside, like for me as a Native American, African American, the people on the outside of that community seem afraid to ask me questions. Like, it's fine to be like, hey, does this offend you? Is this something that would, it's fine to ask questions. And I think that's another way the people who are in that realm of ignorance, they need to open themselves up to ask questions as well. Because, if you just don't know.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Just make an effort to know.
Exactly.
I love that.
You have to ask questions. The worst is when people like project what they are getting in like a very, narrow stream of information, and they just project that into the world when they haven't done the research, when they haven't asked the questions, when they haven't read, when they haven't, I'd rather someone not say anything at all than say something without really going through, really understanding the history, and asking questions is more than okay. It's necessary, So
I think the social media has affected that too. A lot of our activism is on social media. So someone's like, I made a post. Check, I am good. Like, I'm from that generation where like we went and we did stuff. Like we went to Guatemala and like my dad did relief work. And so we did stuff and then we came back and talked about it. We weren't like, I'm with Guatemala. I'm like, that's great. What did you do? Did you bring them fresh water or what?
Yeah, no. And they misspelled Guatemala. They're like, are you with them? Is that who you're with? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. No, it's, you know, there's the good and the bad that comes with social media, because yes, it spreads word, right? And we'll know about certain situations that are happening in the world that are crucial to talk about and that are crucial that we all know about, and it spreads like fire, and that's good, and that, you know, that creates change. But at the same time, there's the backfire of it all. And, you know, sometimes you can spread a bad fire, you can spread lies, you can spread you know, a different perception. It's, you know, it's all about perception. And that's all it is. You have to really just ask the questions and do the research, and I feel you. It's an interesting a time to live, but we got this. We've been through worse.
Yes. And I
made it through 2020.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully it can't get worse.
Well, you never know, man.
Naomi, you want to close it off with our signature question?
Yes. All right. Finish this sentence. Never have I ever.
Never have I ever jumped out of a plane.
Me either. That is a very safe. I agree with that. Is good.
Don't jump out of planes right now.
No. Even with all the equipment, it just seems dangerous.
Yeah. Not yet.
Not yet.
See. Maybe in a few years, we'll see how I feel.
Thank you so much, Inbar, for being on the show. It was so fun. Like, this was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is so fun and wonderful, and I hope you guys continue to do this. And
thank you.
So much light.
Thank you.
Best of luck with everything. We can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.